We checked out 3 of Big Potato Games' newest games. What do we think about all 3 of them? Let's talk about it. What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner? Ahoy there, YouTube! We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friends Ronnie and Adam.
Help.
And we're mixing up the formatting today as we're going to be talking about 3 different games we tried out at game night 2 nights. We're going to give you a brief synopsis of each of the games and then our thoughts of the games, and we'll go through all 3. And let's start with the first one we played tonight, which I felt like was a dud for everyone except for me. This is What the Ick. This one is... Get the Ick. Sorry, this is for 2 to 8 players, ages 14 plus. It says 100 icks because I think the time would probably be like 5 minutes. Like, how long were we playing this? It was super short.
Well, we didn't finish the game, did we?
Yeah, we did. Like, that was the whole game.
That was everything.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about the brief synopsis. So pretty much there's these cards. They're going to be in the center of the table. All right, and these cards are going to say a variety of different things, like they blow on their food before every mouthful, they unironically use the monkey emoji, seeing them run on the bus, and you still miss it. All right, so you'll have 3 of these out on the table. You'll read them out loud. Now, one of the persons at the table is going to get these 4 round tokens right here, 2 of which are blank. They have nothing on the back, which means you don't really have that strong of an opinion on the 3 things on the cards, and then 2 that have special symbols. So first we have the ick symbol, which I think the best way to explain this would be like just cringy. I think it'd be in my mind.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If you find something they do on these cards cringy, that's how I kind of looked at it. Or icky.
The game is called Get the Ick.
So yeah, most
you think icky.
So you put this one down. Or if you want to gamble a little bit and you really love the thing, if you're like, oh, that's not cringy, I love that when people get rickrolled, then you place this on them. All right, now everyone is going to use their voting token. They got these voting tokens right here of your color. On one heart, they got the ick face. On the other side, they got the heart face, like, oh, they love it. And they're going to predict what that person placed down here. And you place it on there. And if you're willing to gamble, you can even play the heart face on there, and essentially you get points if you're correct. And then everyone's going to have a turn to be the person who does the card thing, and you just do that over and over again. Seems like a pretty good synopsis.
Yep. Except you always use the ick token.
I wasn't listening. Can you say that again?
No, I cannot. I felt like that was a pretty decent synopsis.
Yep.
Now, I do want to mention one thing that we didn't mention, is that there is... No, never mind. I don't want to mention that, because it's for the other game. So, what do we think about Oh, I do want to mention, this is super light. Like, it's so light that in the game rules, they say, oh, there's also a scoring variant. It's in the back if you want to. Yeah, nobody. It's like, do you want us to go get it? We can. It's not an inconvenience. Like, that's how it feels. Yeah. What do you think about this one, Ronnie? I'm excited for your thoughts.
Well, yeah, one, I don't like it. 2, I don't get it.
You don't get the ick?
It's called Get the Ick, but like this card right here is seeing them chase their hat down the road after the wind blows it off. That's icky? I don't get it. How's that icky?
You look like the oldest man on the internet right now.
Ew, his hat blew off.
I will say,
gross.
some of them are like the phrasing is weird. How they overpronounce foreign words when ordering.
And some of them say like pretend. This one, imagining them running to pick up sweets from a piano.
Yeah.
So wait, but I'm imagining it, but that's ick. Wait, so is imagining it the icky part, or is them running to get the sweets the icky part?
And it's not what you think; it's what you think that person thinks. So it's like this other level that, yeah.
And another one of them was when someone calls for a cat and it doesn't come. Now that's something that I actually think is funny. Like I would put the
heart symbol.
Yeah, I put the heart symbol on that one because I do think that's funny when people call cats and they don't come.
So you're saying it's great that they put that in there? So
yeah. Because it happens to my wife all the time, and I think it's hilarious.
You want to play it all the time.
Would you want to play this again?
No.
What'd you think, Ed?
I did not care for it. The phrasing on the cards sometimes is pretty weird.
It was
hard to get your mind around. It's just too simple and I didn't have a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun with it. I wanted to play it.
I felt like I got the ick playing this game.
I wanted to play it a couple more times. I enjoyed it. I think it's a fun way to get to know people. I think it's fun when it's like, oh, I know this person likes this sort of thing. It's kind of cool. I think this will go over well with my 10-year-old. I think that crowd would really dig this. I think this could be a really fun family game to talk about stuff like that. What do you think about playing this with younger kids?
I'm sure your 10-year-old will like it. It's a dumb game. It's like
I would not
Silly
care to
games
play
like
this
this.
with my kids.
Okay.
yeah,
feel like
but
I
I'm
would
with
be
that. I would not
explaining
want
the
to play it
cards.
with my 10-year-old.
All right, so that was the first game. That was Get the Ick. And I will say the other two people at the table probably were on your guys' side.
Yeah.
Now, the next game we tried out was Block Party. Now, we'll save this one for last, because I think that was our surprise of the night. Next, we got True Crime Stories. Can you crack these real-life crimes? So this is like another one of those escape room style games where essentially you're going to have a specific mission that you have to go on and you're going to have to figure your way out through it. Now, this isn't an escape style game. Instead, no, it's one of those games where you get the folders. There's some of these that I've seen. So there's 3 separate cases in here. We did case 1. So we didn't have to touch case 2 or case 3. Society of the Black Hand. Now, this is a really interesting theme. It talks about how the U.S. Postal Service actually has like their own bounty hunters and Pinkertons and stuff like that. And you're actually going through a real life case that happened, and it was pretty spot on. Like they didn't like change the names or anything like that. And the way you do that is by going through this folder right here. And I don't want to show you too much, like spoiler. No, I think we can show you stuff. So you're like gonna have information about like the different characters and letters and maps and like pictures.
Newspaper.
Yeah, the newspaper, which is really stinking cool. And it gets me excited to play the next one. And you're trying to solve this mystery. Now, it also has some really interesting, you have to talk about this, internet connection with it. Because I believe it says on the box, I think you have to have the internet in order to play this one. Because you can, like, email the person and then get a response back about, how you figured out the mystery or whatever. But then you could also go to their website and get clues. And the user interface on the website was not the greatest. I, in fact, didn't see a thing of text at one point, which was a huge thing in the game. And that, once because it's on my mobile phone. So it's probably on my end. But at the same time, I still have that issue, whereas if it were...
How many people are going to be playing on their mobile phone? Most of them. Yeah.
And it was a minor thing, but it ended up being a major thing. And just when I was trying to, it didn't feel as crisp and clean as I would like it to. I almost would have preferred an app. And I know that's sacrilegious. But I don't feel like that's a detraction for me. I had a lot of fun with this one.
I enjoyed it as well. I thought there was plenty of things for all of us to look at, which was really nice.
A+ on that.
And, I felt like, you mentioned something, and I've got something in my hand right now that coincides with that. And there were several times when that happened where it was like, oh yeah, this thing or that date is here, and it was fun to figure things out like that. So toward the end we were like, what are we trying to figure out?
That was amazing.
And that was okay. There was basically a question that we were supposed to answer with a couple of pieces of evidence. He didn't read that question to us. He just said, we need 2 pieces of evidence. And we said, there's a million pieces of evidence here. What are we looking for? But had you read that question, I think it would have gone much better.
I agree.
Yeah.
What'd you think, Ronnie?
I'm not very helpful on this. It's not my type of game. I don't like a whole lot of these types of games.
I don't either. I agree with you.
Oh, well, I didn't really care for this one. Personally, I felt overwhelmed. There's quite a few papers, and they have a lot of words on them. I sort of wonder how long... if one person were to read everything, I feel like it's 20 minutes of reading.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
There's a lot of words to read on all the things.
But if you're doing it solo, that's what you're there for, is to figure it out, to read everything and be like, all right, I know the clues. Put them all together.
Yeah, if I were to play this, would be a leisure. I'd like to have it all spread out in front of me,
But even playing with a group, if I were really taking the game seriously, I feel like I would want to scan everything and try to read it. But I don't know. When we played, I sort of just sat back and let.
I did notice you. And here's the thing: that's typically me. I'm typically the dead weight in these games all the time. Adam can attest. Yeah. And there was 3 of us, but I don't know. I agree with a lot of what Ronnie said, but at the same time, the big selling point, I think, for a lot of people. And one of the biggest downfalls of these escape room style games is that there's just not enough crap to look at. And you get to the point where it's just, there's 3 people waiting to hold this. Whereas with this one, it's like, I'm exploring this, that. Like, there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like there was one thing that was like, oh, everybody needs to look at this. Everybody needs this. It was like the newspaper, maybe. But I literally read it out loud to you guys. So.
Yeah. And look at this. Look at case 3. It's a thick honking
Oh,
one.
that is something I do want to say. The components, I think, are really nice. Like, where's that badge at? Look at this thing.
It is a super nice. That's a heavy metal badge.
Yeah, it's heavy, and the magnet on it's really cool.
Spoilers.
Thematic comes across. I think if you're a fan of history games, I think this is definitely one to put on your radar. I think if you're an escape room fan game, this is definitely one to put on your radar.
And also this little matchbox.
They're not
It's
supposed to
so
know about that. Yeah, it's the second
They're
envelope,
not
bro.
supposed to know about the badge either, but let that cat out of the bag.
Well,
The
anywho,
components are really cool.
so you don't like this style of game, which I think that's a good thing to have in reviews. Where would you rank this amongst the other escape room style games that you've tried?
I don't.
Better or worse? Around the same.
I would probably put it in like the 40%.
Okay.
So like 100% being good, 40%. So like a 4 out of 10.
Like I almost like this, but I don't. No. Lower than that.
Yeah, I would say a 4 out of 10 of this type of game for me.
Oh, that's a real low. It's okay.
I'm not saying 4 out of... Yeah.
So you're saying a 4
I
out of a 10 out of... I don't know. Adam, what are you
I don't know what
saying?
I'm saying.
You don't put a number on it if you want.
Yeah, I would say like a 9 out of 10 for this type of game. Because there was everybody had stuff to do, and it didn't overstay its welcome. Like it seemed relatively
all
quick.
of us were like wanting the answers at the end.
Yes, but
All
if
of
we knew
us.
what answers we were looking for, that would have been different. But it went quickly. Like we've played some that it's like, this is taking forever.
Yeah. Yeah. I side with Adam on this one. I think I would honestly put it close towards a 9 just because the theme pops off. Like I was I'm excited to see the other cases, and like Ronnie said, the components just felt top notch. Everything about this feels high quality. I think they got a winner with this one. This is True Crime Stories. Check this one out. And then the last one that we checked out was Block Party, which I think surprised everybody. This one's for ages 8+. It's for 2 to 6 players. And this one, I played with my family 2, 3, 4 times before, and it went over really well. And I was the person who liked it the least at the table, but I still enjoyed myself. So pretty much there's a scoreboard in the center right here, and it also has a 2-player mode, which I have not tried out. That maybe I'll play with my son sometime, because that looks like a really cool board. Like, that looks neat. Like, I want to play that. Doesn't it look fun? Yeah. Because that's not anything like this. So it's essentially a really simple party game where there's going to be a whole boatload of the cubes in the center, like so. Everyone is going to have one of these little boards right here, and you're going to be putting the cubes onto the board to build things that are on the cards that you're going to have. So each round, there's going to be one person who is called the guesser, and they are not going to have to build anything that round. They are just going to sit back. They'll flip over one of these cards right here that will tell them what the special condition for the round is, which looks like this. So this one is low ink. Use the fewest colors, and it also tells you how many seconds you have. So you're going to set a 45-second timer. Now, everybody else is going to be looking at their card right here, trying to figure out what they're going to build out of cubes in the next 45 seconds. Once everybody's ready, you start grabbing one cube at a time, cubes. And then you're going to build whatever said structure is with the cubes in the allotted amount of time. The timer will go off, then the guesser will go around the table looking at everybody's creation, trying to see if they can guess what it is. If they do it correctly, then both players will gain 1 victory point on the board, which you'll have a cube you're moving around. Once you go, so let's pretend the next person, they look at it and they miss. They say, oh, no, I didn't miss it. Well, that's where these steal tokens come into play. They're super cool because you can steal the guess. You flip over your token, so you get this every single round, which encourages you to use it, every round. It's really cool. And you try and guess whatever the person's thing is, and if you do it, then you both get a victory point, which is awesome. And then you go around the table, and whoever was able to accomplish the card will get a bonus card. Bonus point, and you do that. We did it once. Everybody was a guesser. And that's the gist of Block Party. What do we think about this one?
So this game's fun. Surprisingly fun. Like, I mean, even with explaining the game, like, all right, I guess we'll play this. But after playing it, the game is fun. And 45 seconds, that's not a lot of time.
That
especially,
is very short.
Yeah, especially when you're playing it. You're like, 5 seconds left. You're like, what? I just started grabbing blood.
And they're like jumbling together, like, oh, they bumped each other.
And then the surface is a lot smoother than you would think it would be. Like, I was just trying to build a 3x3, so 9 blocks, just all touching each other, just a square. And it took me like 10 seconds just to freaking get it into a square. I'm like, why is this so hard? But so it's weird though. It's both frustrating and fun. Like, because I found it frustrating, but I also found it fun.
Well, because you look around at everybody else and you're like, well, it doesn't look so bad. Like, you get these cards, and there's a wide variety of like items on each card. Variety. I mean, on each card there is. And you can choose any of these, and you look at it and you say, I can build that.
Yeah, hedgehog.
And then you start doing it, and you're like, I can't build this.
Flying saucer, R2D2, pool balls, arrow, piano, Spider-Man, lipstick, tomato, giraffe. There's such a wide variety.
You're like, chair. That's pretty easy, right? But then you start using the cubes, and you're like, well, crap, I can't get all the same color cube, and how am I going to make it look like a chair?
You could get all the same color cube, it's just maybe difficult.
Harder.
You have to grab the cubes one at a time. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all three in agreement that we like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Definitely fun.
Good to great. Good or great? Where you at?
Good. Not great.
Yeah, I would say good. Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to very good. I think the 2-player could potentially bump it up even more.
Very good was the thing. I'll say very good.
Okay. You can go extremely good. I imagine that's like a 7.9.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I guess if we're breaking it down. Because I've played it with my family. Anyway, gang, like my kids requested it a couple nights after we played it. My wife played it and she enjoyed it as well. So I definitely think family game. I think it's almost like a little bit of a chameleon game. You could sneak this into a game night and last game of the night, first game of the night, I think it's going to go over like gangbusters. I can see this being at a party. Once again, I think it'd be, because you could do it, you could buy 2 boxes potentially. I don't see why you couldn't. You have 12 people doing this for 45 seconds. You put a bunch of cubes in the middle. This feels like a game that was made at a prototyping session now that I really look at it, which probably was good for them. I think it's great. Yeah, I don't think it's very good. I think it's a great game, and I definitely recommend this one.
I do have a negative to say about it, it's because they'll repeat words on different cards. So like you could have pencil on 2 different cards, and it's in the rule book that like if you've already done a pencil, you can't do a pencil again, even though it's on a different card. I'm like,
I believe it said if it was correctly guessed.
Oh sure, yeah, sure, if it was correctly guessed.
It still seems like an odd rule. Like why couldn't we have 2 pencils?
Why can't you just
why don't you have different things on every card? Why have repeats?
That feels like one of those rules that someone in playtesting suggested. Like, oh yeah, let's just do that, and then it was like,
just don't have repeats. Come on.
Or just who cares? Like, oh, there's a pencil in round 4 and there's a pencil in round 1. Asterisks. Like, get the hell out of here, Jerry.
Everyone just spite wrong guesses it.
All right, so as always, I like to wrap up these videos by asking the golden rule question, which is, if I were to hand these games to you, would they have a spot on your collection right now, like actually real time? So, which of these 3s would make
that one's icky. No.
Out?
No.
Wait, so they should probably see it. Out. You're going out.
Yep.
And then in.
Yeah.
In. Adam, where are you?
I would go in, out.
In, out. For me, kids definitely in. I am excited to play this one solo, and you can see how dumb I am. In. And then get the, I'm going to play this one with my family. I'm going to shoot a review. Maybe I'll shoot a review with my son on this one. I think this one might sneak in. Plus, it's such a small box. Like, they really efficiently use this. But those are 3 new games from Big Potato Games that might be something that you want to check out. If they look like there might be a cup of teas, be sure to check out, there might be Amazon affiliate links down below. When you click them, I get money, because money is cool. Also, let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Big Potato game of all time? We play a lot of them.
Dude,
I
got much love for Bowers Game Corps.
I don't know that I would know which ones were Big Potato.
I was going to say, if you were asking
me
right
pizza
now.
One? You remember that pizza word game that's a triangle? You like that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there were a number of them I've liked. I just can't think of.
There was a Postal Service pickup and deliver game. That was fun.
Oh yeah, that one was really fun.
You didn't like that one? All right. I don't think you played Herd Mentality.
I was gonna say, if you were to ask me right now, it'd be Block Party because that's the. I can only. Well, I guess I can name 4 of them now.
Okay. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
Is that not crooked?
What?
Is your whole video not going to be crooked?
I think it's. Does it look crooked?
He'll fix
It
it in
looks
post.
really crooked.
Come look at it from this side.
I'll believe you. But I'm just saying. Over here, it looks crooked.
What about now?
It's kind of crooked the other way. There you go. That's no. There you go. That's it. That's it.
This video is brought to you by all of my amazing Patreon supporters, and I would love it if you would join their ranks and have your name immortalized in the end of many of my videos for the end of time. But consider for only $1 a month, and as always, thanks for stopping by.